Good morning, YouTube. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody who commented on my last video. Seems I've got an issue regarding my African violets. Sorry about the backlight. I'll try get a bit closer, see if it improves. There we go. Not really, but anyway, well, they're a bit better. So as you can see, they're all still alive and they're all still okay, and I've checked, I've pulled all these leaves to see if they come away from the crown, and they're firm. All the leaves that are on there now are staying on there, thankfully. So thanks again to everybody that made comments and gave me some of their, their thoughts on what it could be. And I also got comments from Rick L, which I'm really pleased with, because I know he's grown African violets for years. And the conclusions I've come to is you've got to think about your environment. Rather than me thinking about my environment as a whole, so the whole situation here in the house where I'm growing them, I was thinking about the environment just around them, just immediately around them. And also, I wasn't really, thinking about just my environment. I was looking at what everybody else was doing, and I was trying to cover all bases, with the humidity trays, the humidifier, etc., etc. But if I just explain a little bit about my environment, is I don't have full house heating like I used to have in the UK. We used to have central heating, and the house was usually maintained around 20 degrees throughout the winter, and I'm in winter here. But in this house, the only heat source we have is the log burner over there in the other room. And this room obviously gets warm when the fire's lit, so it's warm during the day. If I get the sun coming in through these windows, it gets very warm, so it can get up to 20 degrees. Plus, in the winter, even, with the sun. No, I'm not talking about the summer, that's a whole different scenario again. And through the evening, we maintain about 21 degrees in this room as well. But then we don't keep the fire running all night. So when that fire burns out, this room can drop down to as low as 8. Some mornings I come out and it's as low as 8. And then obviously I light the fire and I warm the room up. So I've got quite a big temperature swing. Between, just in one day I can have a temperature swing of 10 or 15 degrees in this room. And I think that was the problem. I think, having those humidity balls in the trays below, plus having that humidifier on, I was maintaining great humidity, but I wasn't thinking about the swing in temperature and the clay pots getting hot, cold, hot, cold. So my conclusions are, I've got rid of, as you can see, the first thing I've done is I've got rid of the clay balls around them. I've actually switched the humidifier off because somebody commented I probably don't need that humidifier on because I've got the humidity trays around the orchids, and I've got a humidity level at the moment of 57, and you can see it's only 15 degrees in here because I've only just lit the fire. But as soon as that sun comes in, that'll go right up to 25 in the course of an hour, if not less. So the second thing I'm going to do, although Rick did say the clay pots were okay, because they also dry out and they wick water away from the root ball, as well as, keeping it wet with the balls underneath it, I think I'm going to swap them out for shallow plastic, because I think that will be better in my environment. So I've got to find some shallow plastic. I mean, these are still in the original pots that I got them from the person I bought them off, who sent them to me, and I'm going to try and source some more pots like that, and they're nice and shallow. And I do have gravel in the bottom of the pots, so they're not just, they're not just sat in soaking wet soil. But I just wanted to point out one thing. That pot at the back there, you can see how, if I move this one in the front, you see how tall that pot is at the back compared to the one on the right, compared to the one on the left? That one I haven't repotted yet. I was going to put it in a clay pot, but I've run out of them. But that one I bought from the garden centre. And can you see how tall that pot is compared to the one next to it? So even the garden centres aren't really potting them up correctly. You know, I've had another one from a garden centre, and I can guarantee the bottom 2 inches of that pot was just wet sodden soil with no roots. So obviously you definitely need shallow pots. So the Streptocarpus, I've done the same. Although they're not in such shallow pots, they are, you know, their root balls are pretty good. And like I say, I did put gravel in the bottom of the pot, so I haven't just shoved them. That's not all soil in there. And I've taken away the humidity balls, and they're looking okay. I mean, they weren't as affected as badly as these. So when I get the new pots, I shall be repotting them. I'm going to mix up some soil, the recipe that Rick uses, which is peat moss, vermiculite and perlite. So I need to get some vermiculite. I've got plenty of perlite. And I shall mix up my own mix as well. So yeah, so that's it really. I just wanted to let you know what I'd done. I've not answered everybody individually because I'd be spending quite a bit of time on answering all the questions or all the comments, and I don't really have time for that right now. So I just thought this video, hopefully people will see it, and they'll, you know, understand what I'm doing, and I'm grateful for everybody that's made a comment. So thanks again. And I'll keep everybody informed. Once I repot the violets and I get them all settled in nicely, I will film them again. Okay, so thanks for everything, and I'll catch up with you later. Please subscribe, like or subscribe. I never get that right. I get tongue-tied with that, but you know what I mean. Okay, bye for now.